Hello everyone, this is Conciously with yet another Conciously interview, and this time it's what I called in my post the delightful Bex Grant.
Yay.
She is a little lady with a massive, powerful voice, which is, I'm going to investigate. I told her I'm going to investigate and find out how she manages to get that power behind her voice. So hello Bex Grant.
Hello, Coral. Thanks for having me. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Okay,
Good.
so I think, we should just start at the beginning. Who is Bex Grant? Where does she hail from? And how did she come to be? So take it away.
Well, yes. So my name is Bex Grant. It's short for Rebecca. For my name. Everyone's called me Bex since I was in college, and I just ran with it. I was like, oh, that's a bit different. All right, cool. And then I just was like, I can use that as my artist name because I was trying to work out my artist name in college. I'm from North London, Mosel Hill to be exact, darling. And yeah, I've been singing properly since I was about 16. And I've released a mixtape called Trust You, an EP called Transition, and now an album called Eyes on the King.
Okay, so let's backtrack a bit to when you were younger, like coming up from a little child. When did you, what was the environment that you had that made you realize that you wanted to sing?
Well, well, I came from a really musical family. My granddad is R.L. Edwards, so he's quite well known for gospel music back in the day.
Okay.
And then my mum, she sings, Shirley Grant. And then all of my siblings are singers and writers and producers and musicians. So I was literally born into an environment of different sounds, different musical opinions. Then I had my dad who collected records and CDs, and that it used to annoy me that because he was just obsessed with records and vinyls, and on Saturday he'd wake up and he would play like these heavy, like rooted reggae tracks, and they used to literally vibrate through my floor. And I used to think, every Saturday, Dad, really? I used to wake up like that, like, oh my God, I just want to sleep. I've had a long week at school and college or whatever. And this man is just every Saturday, Coral.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, like the environment that I was brought up in, it was very musical. It's how we communicated, literally. Like we would make songs up on the spot and harmonize. And then there was even one point where my mum was like, studio 1, 2, and 3, because my little brother would be downstairs in the living room on the keyboard, and then my older brother would be in his room on the bass, and then I would be in my room singing away. So yeah, that's what it was like growing up.
So you, when did you realize you could sing though? I
Um,
mean, you're in a musical environment, but when did you realize that you could actually sing?
do you know what? I was in a choir with my cousins, and it was called Refuge Choir, put together by my dad. And he gave me a really, really high singing song. I think I was about 6 or something. And I remember just being on the stage and singing, and then everyone was like, wow, like I could see everyone's face like, oh my God, she sings just like her mom. And it was like, oh, I can sing. Like, so that's when I realized that I could actually sing, was being at church and a part of a choir with my sisters, my brothers, and my cousins.
Okay, so your mum is a soloist as well?
Yeah, she's a worshiper.
Okay. All right. Okay, so you were brought up in church.
Yeah,
You're born
I
into
was.
church.
PK kid.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
PK kid.
So, how, when they say PK, it's pastor's kid. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
How was that for you? Because I know a few children, or friends who are children of pastors, and how was that
Yeah.
for you?
It was quite tough. The
Mm,
pressure was real.
mm.
I didn't realize I was a PK kid until I started like hanging out with more New Testament people, and they were like, "You're a PK kid, Bex," and I'm like, "What is that?" They're like, it means that your parents are both ministers, because my
Yeah.
dad preaches as well.
Yeah.
And my mum, she preaches and sings. So yeah, it was like, oh, yeah.
Okay, so we're going along, and now you're coming up to your teens, and you decide to go to college. So what did you study?
Oh, so in college, I studied music at
Mm-hmm.
Camden, what's it, Islington College,
Mm-hmm.
um, City and Islington College. So I better get that correct before my teachers
Yeah.
start messaging me. Um, yeah, I started off there doing music as like a, I can't remember what they call it now. Is it like just a course, music course?
Yeah.
And that was another like pivotal moment for me to realize that I actually had something quite powerful.
Yeah.
Um, I was working with Volney, Byron, Volney Morgan,
Mm.
and Jesse, my brother, Jesse Grant.
Mm-hmm.
And we all used to just like stay in at lunch and just like jam on the piano and just do crazy music stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there was even one point our teacher, he became like our manager, because we started getting all these gigs and stuff in like
Okay.
bars and stuff close around to the college.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just really skyrocketed for me, my
Okay.
sense of musical self.
Yeah. So what was
Yeah.
this? What was this genre? Because was it reggae then, or what did you sing? What style?
Well, at college, I was everywhere. So I
Mm.
was like, exposed to rock, pop, soul, just everything, because
Mm-hmm.
our teachers had us learning different types of genres, and then they would tell us to kind of like mix things up.
Mm.
Um, but at that point, when I was in college, I was also working with a guy called Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he was about the same age as me, and we used to just go to the studio and like do like old school stuff. It was just quite different for 17-year-olds, like to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
doing songs from like Aretha Franklin and then kind of like cutting it up and then, playing around and just experiment. It was really, really different.
Mm.
So yeah, I would say I was quite exposed. There wasn't really like a set genre at college that we were kind of, stuck on. I was just doing everything. I was going everywhere, working with anyone. Anywhere there was music, I was there. I was quite artsy. So
Okay.
yeah,
So you
I
had
kind of
different
found myself.
influence. Yeah, you had
What's that?
I said you had different influences
Yeah,
on your style.
yeah,
Okay. So
yeah.
from college, what happened after that?
College. I was still trying to find my sound and find
Mm.
myself.
Mm.
Um, Around leaving college, I recorded Transition,
Right.
the EP. I worked with my cousin Stephen, Mackenzie, and Calvin Sylvester.
Mm-hmm.
They were all young as well. And we were working at Rising Tides in Hackney. Do
Yeah.
you know Rising Tides? Yeah, we were
No.
there.
Mm.
You don't know Rising Tide
I'm
in
going,
Hackney
yeah. I'm
Ocean?
going, no.
Child, it's across
What,
the street from
what, what's
Hackney
it
Empire.
called?
Rising Tides. It's like Oceans. You know Oceans?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yes. I can picture it now. Yes. Sorry. Because I used to
Yeah,
work in Hackney, so I should know it. Yes.
girl. It
I
was
should know it.
such a musical place. It
Yeah.
was Everyone used to go there. Everyone that wanted to be an artist or a producer used to like go to Oceans in Hackney.
Okay.
Kind
Yeah, I
of
know
like
Oceans. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was great. That was like, I think that was the most amazing time of my life, because I was trying to find myself and I was around so much greatness.
Yeah.
It was everywhere in
Right.
Ocean. I would go to college and I would literally I'll go to Oceans after. I'll be at work, then I'll go to Oceans after. I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
always in the studio
yeah.
most of my like teen life. I was in
Okay.
so I got to watch different producers doing different
Mm.
stuff, artists, and just constant exposure to
Yeah,
different
yeah.
things and just people. And
Mm.
it was a great time of my life. And then after that, coming out with Transition, the EP, I was like,
That was a gospel album, yeah?
That was a gospel album. It was like my first ever project that I had completed, which I was quite proud of. And then, that kind of made me see that I have something, because people started to notice the project and they were like, oh my God, you know, you've got a voice and it's really different. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's wrong with this? Do you know what I mean? And my self-confidence grew as a woman as well.
Yeah. Good. No, I'm just thinking about what you said. Yeah. So, right. Did you decide to sing? Did you go into singing full time at that time? What did you do?
I was still working and singing.
What was your chosen field? Yeah, profession.
While I was working.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was working in corporate, so I was working in recruitment. So I'd go to the studio and stuff after work, and then I'd be doing shows around, like working full time. And it was a lot.
Yeah.
But with music, when you feel, well, it's not even a feel thing, it's when you're called to sing, or do any form of music, you don't care if you're working full time or life is upside down, you're finding yourself somehow in the studio or doing something. So that was just me. I was just, I was determined. I still am. I still got that fire to just make it happen.
That definitely comes across, definitely in this album. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
So we're coming on now, because I'm not going to tell you to say your age, but you are older than people think you are, I think, because you look young, but you're older. So, right, so let's just say...
The glory of God, Coral, I'm telling you, it really is. My dad said to me, the other day, he looked at me and he said, no, that is God, because you do not look your age.
You don't look your age at all.
I don't.
So what happened after, all right, how did you get to the stage where you're, right, okay, sorry, let me go back. I first saw you a few years back, I think it's about 4 or 5 years ago at Miss Caribbean UK. That's when I first saw you singing. So, and then you sang gospel then. And I remember I sort of, I was sitting with the judges, I was facilitating the judges of Miss Caribbean UK. And then I heard you start singing. I looked up, and then I looked down and I looked up again, because I thought, but she's small. So where's that voice coming from? That fascinates me, because you have a very powerful voice. Do you practice? How is it? How does it come across? How does it come across?
Do you know what it is? Yeah, I think it's like it's something that it comes from, like an inheritance. Like, some people, they inherit money or they inherit land just naturally, or they just, there's a part of their stream, their family tree, that they just caught something. Yeah. And I've caught the singing bug. My mum as well, when she sings, I always think to everyone, she sounds like a trumpet from heaven. Yeah. And I used to look at her and think, like, wow. And then like sometimes I sing and it's like I'm lost in the music, and then everyone's like, oh, where's that coming from? I honestly would say it's the Holy Spirit, because sometimes I listen to myself and I'm like, is that me? I'm literally like, oh my God, I actually hit that note, like especially in Eyes on the King, when I'm singing at the end. I'm like, Becky, what was you eating that day? Like, it's like, it's natural. It's not practice. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't practice as much as I should. I just feel it, and it comes out.
So I was going to say, right, you're a Christian and your faith is very important to you. Where, I am sure you must have come across people who have said to you, with that kind of voice, you could go into different areas of music, the secular side, and you would make bags of money and you'd be famous and so on. I'm presuming, because, hearing your voice and hearing what you're able to do with your voice and your vocal range, I am sure that, you know, people have said that to you. Were you ever tempted? And if not, why not?
Well, before I released the Transition EP, I was actually striving to be a pop artist,
Okay.
and my parents are like prophets to me. They always come to me and they always will say something quick, like, "You're not meant to be doing that," or "What are you doing? God's not calling you for that." You know, like that. I don't know if your mum was like that.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
you know, my mum does it, so sometimes she'll just be staring at me over her glasses, and she'll be like, "No, that ain't." And she did that to me constantly. She was like, "Becky, no, you're not a pop artist. Your voice is for the Lord." And I would be like, "But mum, like I'm getting out there." Like it was getting to the point where I was running after the secular world that I got to Love Box, which is quite a huge festival.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And people started to notice me. And then it was just, my mum kept saying it. And then things kept happening, you know, where it was like I would get to a certain point and then it would just crash.
Yeah.
And also spiritually, it didn't feel right to do secular.
Yeah.
But every time I sang gospel or I wrote gospel, the songs would come quick, or it would just feel right. I felt at home. And there was a long fight, you know.
Yeah.
There was a huge fight of I'm over here and I'm over here. And then one day I just gave in. I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to do gospel because I felt at peace doing it. I felt at peace giving God worship with this voice that he's given me.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I've just been writing gospel songs. And I do get people coming to me and say, you could be so much bigger than that. But I always think about the eternal life after you die. And I always think, I want to hear God say, well done. You know, at least you trusted me. You know, you didn't try to please human masters, you pleased me, you know. And I always find that when I sing to people, like singing and writing, I see that the positive effects it's having on people's lives, and it kind of reaffirms to me that what I'm doing is the right thing.
It's and the right way.
It's the right way. And don't get me wrong, it would be nice to be famous, but to be honest with you, when I look at these famous artists with these amazing voices that I look up to, like Amy Winehouse and Whitney Houston, like look at the end, what happens at the end, and I look at that and I'm very like, I'm an overthinker. So I always, is that how I would end if I decide to go down that route? You know, I just feel like God deserves this. You know, even though I feel unworthy, because like I'm not like the holy art thou type of Christian. I'm just Becky. I'm just the girl that likes to drink some tea. It's real. Like I just feel like if I can't, I'm not really like a jumper, like a screamer and a roll on the floor kind of worshipper. But when I write my songs, I know that that's enough. When I sing to God, I know that that's enough. And that's why I choose to sing gospel, and that's why I choose to give God the worship that he does deserve, because he's done so much for me. He really does. He's my best friend, and I want to write to him all the time.
You're gonna write to him all the time. I like that.
All the time.
All the time. Okay, so we're coming on now to the album that everyone's talking about. You know, when I'm gonna have to confess that I listened to it in my bed. And then I started skanking away, like, you know, dancing. If anyone had come in the room, they would be having some very interesting conversations with me as to my movements. And I think it was, which one? My Lord. When you hit the notes, I sat up because I had to rewind it about 3 times because I could not believe that you reached those notes. But then you go low as well. This is the thing. That's why I said your vocal range is quite vast. So where did you get the inspiration for that song?
My Lord, just like loneliness, and just rejection over and over and over and over again, and then getting to a point where I realize that God is like literally the only thing I have, the only consistent assured thing that I have.
Yeah.
You know, that's where that song has come from. And also it's a love letter to him. You know,
Yes.
like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't have a man right now, yeah.
Mm.
And
She
I'm
doesn't
just
have a
like,
man right
right,
now. She doesn't have a man. Okay.
I don't have a man right now. But I do believe that the first love is God. You know,
Yeah.
it's in me. I feel that. I feel like your first love has to be God. I never used to think like this before, you know.
Mm. Mm.
But I'm like, God, yeah, if you want all of me before you send someone, then okay, how show me how to love, show me how to take my pain and all, you know, everything I'm going through and make it positive. And that's what I did with that song. It was like
Mm.
taking everything I'm going through and taking the attention off me and putting it
Yeah.
onto God, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
telling him how great he is, you
Yeah.
know.
So okay. So you wrote that song. You wrote My Lord.
Yeah,
You wrote it. Okay.
I wrote, yeah.
So, but, oh, gosh, the notes. It was just the notes, especially near
Yeah.
the ending when you went up there, and I thought,
I
wow.
was wooing him. I was wooing God. Like, you know, women, we like to be wooed. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, we like the flowers and the da 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 da.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I feel like that, how does God feel? You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
he's got feelings too. So I
Yeah.
want to woo
Yeah.
him. I want to tell him like, you know, he's great and I love
Mm.
him and he's my best friend. Let me woo him. Let me gas him
Yeah.
up. That's what that song was. It was to gas up God, really.
Okay. All right. The other one, I'll be waiting.
Oh,
That's a deep one as well. What was the inspiration behind that one?
Um, when I think about that song, it makes me feel so emotional
Oh
because
wow. Yeah.
I remember getting into the booth and they played the track and it goes "Dun-dun," and then it just kind of goes in and I just
Yeah.
knew exactly what I wanted to say then.
Mhm.
Um, Again, the whole album is really just, you know, showing God's like adoration, like, and
Mhm. Mhm.
I just wanted to tell him that even though, yeah, things look the way they do, I know he's gonna come through. Like, I
Yeah.
know he's going to come through. Like,
Mhm.
if I'm sick, God's gonna heal me. If I'm alone, I'm not always gonna be alone. If I'm doing my coursework and it's too hard, I know he's gonna help me with it. You know, just it's just a waiting thing. My dad was preaching one Sunday and he said that to wait means to study.
Yeah.
And so I kind of, you know, translated that in my mind that while I'm studying, I'm going to put all my trust
Mm.
in God.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy, but I just, it's like I'm waiting for God to come through on so many things right now. You know,
Right.
every time I think about that song, it just makes me want to cry because it's
Yeah.
like from the heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, and it's just like just telling God, like, you know, I do feel a bit like rubbish right now, but yeah,
Mm.
I know you're the alpha and the omega, you're the beginning and the end, and like you're powerful, and I believe in your power. I believe in your
Yeah.
power.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
always there for me. So I'm gonna wait on you because
Mm.
you never turn your face from me, even when I don't deserve to even
Yeah.
be in your divine presence, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll wait on you, God, you know.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
it's very well written, that song. Very, very well written. And the arrangement I like. But my favorite, I have to say, is Eyes on the King. I've since I heard it, I've been listening to it every morning, probably in the evening as well. It's just so it's a song of focus, I think, for me. It's a song of I've got my eyes on the King. I love it. I love that song. So please tell me how you came to do that song.
Eyes on the King.
Hmm.
Well, so Eyes on the King, it came from pain
Mm-hmm.
because I won't say whom,
Yeah.
but there was just a situation where someone was telling me that I'm nothing and what I'm doing is a waste of time and no one's gonna listen to me because they were just saying the most vile things
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it really broke my heart.
Mm.
Sometimes when you look up to someone or you put so much into someone in terms of like a pedestal and
Mm.
they turn around and say the most, you know, vile things to you,
Mm.
it it can really make you feel as though you are nothing.
Yeah.
And I just remember just standing there, and it felt like the world just stopped when
Yeah.
they said these things to me. And I just remember, because God talks to me. He talks to me hard, literally. I could be in the bath and God is giving me some revelation, and I'm like, raw, that's mad. Yeah. And he said to me that day when I was so brokenhearted, he said, keep your eyes on me because I am the king. And I was like, okay, I'm going to write about this.
Yeah.
Because it was that painful. I don't know if you or anyone that's listening and has ever heard someone that you love so much saying something so cruel to you.
Yeah.
And you just felt like it hurt your mental health almost. I just thought, nah, I don't believe you. I'm not gonna let you break me down like this, and I'm gonna listen to what God's saying, because he's the king.
That's right.
And I just remember sitting in my room at the time, and I got a pen and I started to write in capital letters. I was like, keep your eyes on Jesus. Keep your eyes on Jesus.
Yeah.
And then I woke up one night and I wrote it in 5 minutes. I write songs really quickly. And I just wrote Eyes on the King, and then I just thought, and I was going like this. Like, I'm gonna keep my eyes on Jesus. I'm gonna win. Watch this. You're gonna see me win. I don't care. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna let you, what you said, be my fuel, because I'm keeping my eyes on Jesus. Okay. And like, even now, I am still aiming my focus. Like, I'm literally like, yes, you're telling me I'm not gonna make it. Yes, you're the naysayer. But you know what? Yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, if I trust Jesus while I walk across this water, I will not sink.
That's right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about that sink where you go into depression, that sink when you stop working hard on your dreams and your aspirations. I am walking with the King, so I'll be fine. You know? It's that affirmation song.
Yeah. I keep your eyes on the King. So how long did the album take to be created, or how long did it take to, how long did it take to make the album? That's how I should say it.
How long? The album took 3 years to make, you know.
3 years.
It took 3 years to make. And I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I'm really grateful it took that long, and it happened now, because it's needed now as well.
Yeah.
It took 3 years because I was still spiritually trying to settle my skin.
Yeah.
I was still trying to. I'm still in this process with the Lord where I know.
Settle your skin. What does settle your skin?
Make sure that the skin is smooth. You know, the lines are straight. You know, like I was letting God. He's molding me and showing me who I am. You know, I've noticed a lot of women, we take what people tell us about us and we go with what they say, rather than actually go to the Lord and say, God, who am I? What am I supposed to do? You know, so I said to myself, let me just like work on myself. I've been literally working on me personally, and allowing God to perfect me. And you know, it's all good to put out products and music and stuff like that, but there has to be something behind it. You know, there has to be a real person behind it. There needs to be someone solid behind it. You know, like the Eyes on the King. If I was a weak person, I don't think I'll be able to record all these songs and write these songs. I don't think, you know, I could even sit with you right now and have like a articulate conversation. You know, and God was working on me. He was like, this is who you are. This is who I want you to be. And so that album was literally part of me becoming who I am right now. And I'm a servant for God. I'm doing a service, you know. So sometimes when you're building something, it shouldn't always have to be an overnight thing. You have to take time and work on the diligence of it. So it took 3 years. And sorry, I'm like preaching. I got preaching spirit, it took 3 years, and I worked with Brother Kenny and Brother Stuart.
Yeah.
I call them brother, and as like a respect,
Yeah.
because they're older than me, and you know,
Mm.
it just feels wrong saying their names
Yeah.
like Kenny and Stuart.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from the old school church.
Exactly. Yeah. So they were with you the whole 3 years?
They were, do you
Oh,
know, Brother Gary Revelation Dixon as well.
yeah.
To give a shout out to him, can't forget him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He saw me singing at the 291 Club in Chingford. I was
Oh, I
a
was
part.
there. I was
Was you
there.
there?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
Did you see me?
Yeah.
You saw me. That
I
is
think,
so
yeah.
cool.
Is that
Yeah.
what year was that?
2017.
I think I was. I'm sure I was. Yes, yes, I was there. Yeah.
You
Was
were
it
there.
2017 or 18?
Can I count? No, it's definitely 2017.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure I
Yeah,
saw you.
3
Yeah,
years
yeah,
ago.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was there, and I was
Mm.
doing that competition. I don't know if you remember Delroy. I can't remember his last name. It was
Murray, Daryl Murray.
Murray. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Oh no,
Bob,
no, I'm thinking of a different 291. Sorry, I'm thinking of the year after. I'm thinking of Elaine Smith's one.
I don't
So
remember.
yeah, I know that was at the Hackney Empire. This one, your one was. I know which one you're talking about. I wasn't at that one. So sorry. Yeah.
Oh, it's okay, girl. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw Brother Gary there.
Mhm.
As you know, he's very like enthusiastic and
Yes.
very visionary, which is
Mm.
amazing. And he just saw what I was doing, because he originally saw me singing Eyes on the King and My Lord. And he came up to me and he was like, put his hands on my shoulder, and he said, "You're going to be great." He said, "You come sing at my show." And I was like, who is this man? And then I thought, do you know, he's got a good, like me, I'm a feeler, and I can discern people, yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, like he seems cool. He's all right. He's excited for me, you know. And then I went to do his show in 2017 in Camden Stalls, I think it is, in the, you know, the horse stables.
Yeah.
And I met Brother Stuart on the day, because he was playing keyboard. And I remember, do you know, he's like that supportive dad, you know, like he sees a child or something, and he's like, "Come on, you got this." And I remember I looked behind him and he was like, "You're gonna be fine." And he's so positive. And I was like, who is this? I don't know these people. I'm just come here today. They've learnt my song, so I'm just gonna go with it, yeah. And then we did this show, and I remember getting on stage and I was going to myself, oh my God, I'm gonna go sing reggae to these grown people, yeah, who know their reggae, yeah. And if I don't sing the reggae right, they're gonna cuss me, because this is serious. And I was shook. So shook means I was scared. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm just gonna go in there, quickly sing the songs and get off, yeah.
Yeah.
And then like everybody was just going crazy, you know, over Eyes on the King when it dropped, because I was like, you know, the first line.
Yeah, that's it. It's the intro. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, keep your eyes on Jesus, who began and finished this race. Study how he did it. And then when it drops, I have my eyes. Everyone was like going nuts. And I was thinking, are you sure? Like it? Like, always do that. I was like, is everyone all right? Like, and then, afterwards I met Brother Kenny, and he was just looking at me like their dad again. And he was like, you need to come to the studio and just try things out, see how it works. Like some of the songs. And again, I was thinking, who is this man? Yeah. But I was like, again, I picked up a good spirit. Yeah. And I was like, let me just go. I'm going to tell everyone where I'm going just in case. And then we'll just see what happens from there. And then literally I went into the studio. I just remember Brother Stuart giving me cups of tea. Teas are nice, by the way.
Yeah.
I love tea.
You love tea. Okay.
Literally.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, when you come to the studio with us, Cole, you'll see the teas are there. That's what the sauce is, yeah. And then, just from then we were just recording, and I was freestyling tracks, and I think it was like Hallelujah. I freestyled that, And then we just started turning them into songs over the next
Okay.
few years. It was just, yeah, and then
Excellent.
now we're here.
So, what inspired the artwork? You know, I can
The
see it
artwork.
behind you. Yeah, the artwork for the album sleeve.
All right, this is so exciting. So I moved house about a year ago, and God blessed me with this huge garden, yeah, that it looked like the place of desolation, yeah. It was just rubble and stones and all type of something, yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember standing in the garden and I was like, God, like, really? Like, you
Mm,
want me to clear this all, yeah? And he was
mm,
like, yeah, you're gonna clear it, you know? And I was like, but God, I've got the albums to do, I've got my
yeah.
work to do. I was doing a lot, but I somehow cleared it. I'll do a video online for everyone to see, because I feel like when I talk about it, everyone's like, but then when they see it, they're like, I can't believe you done this.
Yeah.
But yeah, the basically the artwork is inspired by my garden.
Okay.
It's basically like flowers and seeds, and I feel like that's me with my music. I
Mm,
feel like I plant seeds everywhere,
yeah. Yeah.
and I see them blossoming when I
Mm,
don't expect it,
mm,
and then the trees is just like God, just he's overshadowing me when
yeah.
it's too hot, and colors and the detail, and the fact that God has seasons for when the flowers bloom.
Mm,
That it resonated with me, because I
yeah.
feel like that's me. I feel like I have been planted for so long.
Yeah.
Like, it almost feels like I've become a weed. And I
Mm,
was like, God, when do I come out and bloom? In other words, when do I get to share this music? Yeah.
yeah.
Because I have to be all like, everyone's asking me, Becky, where's the songs? And I'm like, I can't even say nothing to them. Like, I had to keep it under wraps. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this season that I'm in is like, I feel like I'm literally coming up from the earth, and I'm
Mm,
in high, and everyone's seeing the colors and everything that's been planned beneath the
mm.
soil. So I'm a little bit like of a poet like that, but
Yeah.
yeah, I
And
felt like
you
that.
obviously like flowers, don't you?
Oh, I love a
Yeah.
flower. I
You
love,
go. Yeah.
especially a pretty one.
Yeah.
I do. Um, but yeah, like that's basically what inspired the artwork, was my
Mm,
garden, and
yeah.
how I'm feeling about myself and
Mm,
life and those around me.
mm,
Um, and then also the white is just symbolizing what we as saints shall be wearing when
yeah.
he comes to get us, all
Mm,
white, you know,
all
and
right.
all
Okay.
white, you know.
Mm,
And then I've got my earring in the picture, which is kind of like got the cross on there. It's
mm,
there, you know, it's
yeah.
there. That God is there. He's behind, he's around. Sometimes it's subtle, sometimes it's loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what inspires it. And then just me with my hand up is just worship.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking like I'm looking at the king, like I'm worshiping him. It's like
Yeah.
he's
Yeah. Eyes
instructing
on the
me.
king. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
that was the inspiration for that album cover. And
So,
shout out to Tiana for doing it. She's amazing. Tiana
Ghana.
Gray.
Okay. Shout out to Ghana. Very well done. Shout
Well
out to
done, Gab.
Ghana. So, okay. I've got two more questions really. You're petite with a very powerful voice and so on, and people don't realize that you're older than you are. And I know I can tell that sometimes there's been attempts to take advantage of that fact. How have you handled it? How have you coped?
Um, with me, yeah. As much as I like to smile and people tell me that I'm cute,
Mm,
I always have this thing where it's like I look like a cat, but I'm actually a lion.
mm,
God called me to be that way.
yeah.
Um, I do have people that come to try to take the mic,
Mm,
but as soon as I start talking about stuff that is in line with do things properly and business process or ministry process,
mm,
they're like, oh, okay, oh,
mm,
oh,
mm,
better come correct. And it is has been challenging, especially being Black, being a female and a woman. That is all challenging in itself. But I feel like once knowing yourself, and once you have like a solid understanding of what needs to happen,
mm,
I study as well, so I'm well aware of what needs
mm,
to take place in order to move things forward.
mm,
Wisdom is something that is helping me to deal with that, you know. I was saying to my sister the other day, I think I need to change my image. And she was like, why?
Mm,
I was like, just so that, you know, people can stop coming at me a certain way and getting shocked when I open up my mouth and start talking to them
mm,
in a way that they understand. And she was like, no, you don't, Becky. She said, because you're called to be this way. And I was like, oh, wow, that's true. You
mm,
know, so um, I think the best way that I handle it is just having education and also a sense of self.
yeah,
Um, Also the people that you're around as well, having people to go to and say, is this right?
yeah.
Um, you know, this is what happened the other day. And, you know, I had an incident where someone was trying to get me to do something, and they were trying to, you know, take advantage. And I had to kindly just articulate, you know, in an assertive way, absolutely
Mm,
not.
mm,
And I even had to pray about it as well, because I was like, I could not believe the damn cheat, you
yeah.
know? But you just, it's like that in the industry, you know, even not even just by the way I look. I think just being a woman,
Yeah.
people just think that they can take
Mm,
advantage. But
mm,
when I'm studying a business degree, so I know how to handle situations in a
yeah.
professional way, and also spiritually as well. I'm prepared for the worst.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, I hope
So
that answers.
yes, you have. Yes. My final question is, what is your message to the world? What, you know, if I say Bex Grant, what would you like to say about yourself? How would you present yourself to the world?
I would say that I am like a, you know, I'm a minister and a servant
Mhm.
through music.
Mhm.
Um, I believe that the Lord has called me to empower people,
Yeah.
um, you know, in a way where they can get out of the rut
Yeah.
that they're in,
Mhm.
like the self-victimization. You you can't be powerful under God and pitiful at the same time.
So that's a
You know
good
what I'm
one.
saying?
Mhm. Mm.
You will fall off track. This is the
Yeah.
message. You
Mm.
will fall off track, but you better put your lipstick on, like my mum says, and
Mm.
get cracking, because
Yeah.
we're not down here for no holiday.
No.
You know, we're here to save souls for the kingdom. You know,
Mm.
any way you do it, whether you're drawing, writing poetry, through your business, through education, anything, if you
Mm.
can just be a light, you're doing the will of God. You know what I
Mm.
mean? You're doing it properly. And so that's really my message, is to kind of give people hope and let them know that, you know, you're gonna be fine. When you're walking with Christ, you're fine. You
Yeah.
might have your
Yeah.
moment, but you're fine.
Mm.
You're
Mm.
fine. All you need to do is get on your knees,
Mm.
grab the olive oil, yeah, and your Bible, yeah, and get to it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Spiritual warfare. We ain't got time. Yeah. And
Okay.
we will win. We're called to win.
Mm.
So that's really my message, is that I have been through a lot in my life. You know, I might be smiling and look like I'm glowing and look full and stuff, but
And
I've been,
beautiful. Yeah.
thank you, so do you. Um, yeah, like, you know, I have gone through a lot in my life. I'm still going through stuff, but at
Mm.
the same time, my confidence and all my hope is assured in God,
Mm.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
Mhm.
That's where all my hope is. So my message is just, Jesus loves you and you'll be fine. Like,
Okay,
literally,
that's a message.
you'll be fine.
Okay. Well, congratulations on your album. I think it's an epic album. I think there's the potential for many singles coming from that, or several singles. I know for a fact that it's out on all social, not social, well, it's out on social media, but it's out on all digital platforms.
Yes.
What's your social media handles that people can contact you with?
Well, everything is centralized on my website, which is
Mhm.
www.bexgrantmusic.org. On the top of the page, you'll see my
Okay.
handles, which are all Bex Grant Music.
Okay.
Please feel free to message me if you want to have a cheeky chat
Mm.
or you want to book me. I'm really friendly. Um, and sometimes
Yeah.
if I haven't had my coffee.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can catch me on my central page, which is www.bexgrantmusic.com. Yeah, I hope that's
Excellent.
helpful.
Okay. Well, Bex, it was lovely talking to you. And I
Thank
know
you.
we haven't heard the last of you. And I wish you every success with this album. I believe it's going to be a hit, and I'm sure everybody is supporting you by sharing and streaming and purchasing. So we'll just see what happens. Let's see what happens. But it's nice to meet you.
Thank you. I just wanted to say to you as well, thank you so much for believing in me.
Oh,
You've been following my journey for a while now, and I
yeah.
thank God for you, and I just pray that He continues to bless this platform.
Thank
And
you. Thank you. That is my hope too. Thank you.
yeah.
Take care.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.
Bye.